We did it. We did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. You're president. We did it. We did it. And by we, I mean me. I did it. I figured it out. I had problems. I had issues. I had woes that I had to deal with in terms of finding how to have the best internet connection that isn't going to drop, isn't going to lag. And I think I figured it out. I think I figured it out, my friends. I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it because I feel like if I jinx it, then well, if I mention how good and how great I feel having fixed my problem, then inevitably the problems are going to come. But welcome to a Wednesday stream. I mentioned that I'm going to do these often, along with my Sunday streams, and then when we bring back ham radio, we got Monday streams, my friends. We got Monday streams. Now, the issue with today is that, and the previous streams, actually, the issues with the previous streams is that I was an idiot. I was a retard. I wasn't having any issues. It was just the location of the box that was the problem. I had it here. You know how much concrete is surrounding this abode? I had to have it near a window. So now that I placed it near a window, your boy's getting some tremendous internet speeds, and I'm no longer going to change some lives at the T-Mobile headquarters. So you could rest assured that you're not going to see me on the news because of that. Now I'm sweating because of a lot of things, a lot of factors. But the reason that I called this stream the sweat stream is for obvious reason. I had a neighbor pass away, and we were throwing away a bunch of his stuff. And I don't know if you know this, but it's hot. It's hot, so I was sweating it up. And this brings me to another point here, just to start the stream off. You leave trash in the street, right? You leave trash in the street, and you're very neat and organized when it comes to the trash that you put. You put it in bags, you separate it, you put it in a nice little pile, and people come and they destroy everything. These troglodytes, these fucking, I want to say low class, but then that's gonna make me feel a little bit like shitty, like I'm making a comment on race or something. But no, it's these cunts. They come in, they just open up all the bags, tear everything up, all the neatness that you put in the street to make sure that they could pick up the pile the most efficiently when they come. They don't care. They just want stuff. They want to look through your trash. It's gross, and that's what's happening right now, which is great. 720, the best it gets? No, it's not the best it gets. I just didn't change the setting. I didn't change the setting. Let me take my gum off, by the way. I apologize. I wanted to be make this a legitimate stream. 720 is not the best that it gets. I'm going to up it to 1080 on the next stream because I could do it. Because I could do it. But this is going to be a fun stream. We have a lot of topics to get through. I was sent this, as you've seen from my previous video that I uploaded today. Your boy doesn't stop. Your boy doesn't stop. But I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting this. They just sent this to me, which I like, right? When it's packages that don't involve limbs and just various orifices from body parts. I like it when you send me cool shit. The deck of cards, when I get sent playing cards, I don't know if this is going to come off as shitty, but I don't like it. I'm not a fan of being sent playing cards. I know Penguin Magic sends me playing cards on occasion. Let's see these comments. Afternoon all. How you doing, man? Sup, bro? How are you? Sup, guys? Look at this. Look at this interaction. It's live interaction we're getting, my friends. All in real time without any internet problems. Why? Because your boy's not a boomer. I figured out my woes. And hopefully today we're going to show that my fucking stream doesn't come down like the other ones. But they sent me this, and I like receiving cool shit like this, right? So this is something cool. And when I opened it up, I had no idea what I was getting. I just ripped this open, and I did not know what the fuck to do with this. So this is one of those products that you need to look through the instructions. And I did, and I think it's cool. I wouldn't ever do it, right? I wouldn't ever do it apart from showing it on camera. But I think it's a cool thing that you turn a dollar bill or a cigarette into a dollar bill or vice versa, right? So it's an interesting idea. I like how self-contained it is. But me personally, I don't think I'm ever going to do this. Maybe to do the Mario Lopez bit, right? Here. Oh, yeah. Maybe to do this bit, right? Where you do this, where you show the cigarette and then it's on the other side. And then you can make it shoot up to the right side, right? That could work. And then you could show it on both sides. and then put it back into your mouth. Right? Maybe to do that, I'll probably keep it, but I'm not gonna do it. So let's see. In Japan, by the way, the comments are on my phone. I apologize for that. I didn't want to put them because I was afraid that the internet might die. So I didn't put them on the actual screen here. So it says in Japan you have to call the government and measure a catalog with everything you're throwing out to be accepted. Luckily, you're lucky. Stop nagging. I had to throw out a bed and desk, and it was hell. No, I'm not saying that it's a terrible process. I'm saying that I made it as easy as possible for the trash collectors, right? So I go through it and I put everything in bags and I'm organizing, and then troglodytes come from the street and I wish I had your process, because in that way it deters people, right? With a lot of, it deters people from having to pay a lot of fines for going through your trash and leaving it everywhere. I neatly placed everything. We got everything. We neatly stacked it. We got bags and bags and bags of shit. We got furniture that we're stacking. And then these guys come in and they just rip everything up, and they're just ripping through shit. So I prefer yours. I prefer your method. I'd rather go through the process of filing paperwork to do it. So I'd rather go through that, because definitely it's a deterrent to these cunts that do this shit. So let's see. Happy to send them decks my way. Well, I find that the people that say that typically are in countries where it's a pain in the ass to send playing cards. I remember having sent a deck to I forgot what country in the Middle East, but it cost me, I think, $30 to send it over there. And I was like, you know what? I'm good. I'm good with this. I'm fine. But it's annoying. It's sorry, just to bring back the shit. I think they're still there, looking through the garbage. But this is cool. This one's interesting. I think the last thing they sent me was the rubber band, which I took off because I was doing some stuff. Let's see. Hey, homie, go give your bro some good table controls. I'm practicing riffle stacking now and getting pretty solid at it. That sounds hot. That sounds hot. I can never do that because the riffle stacking stuff is well beyond my virginity, right? You have Jason Ledane, who's does that on Instagram, and I think he has enough virginity on his own to be able to handle that. I don't want to partake in learning those techniques. And you mean homeless? They're not homeless. These aren't homeless people. They pulled up in a car. They pulled up and they started stacking shit in their car. Mind you, they have like a Honda Accord from 2001, right? That's all rusted up that they painted. But they're not homeless. The guy's just looking for furniture for his house. But goddamn, man, if you're going to do that, at least leave it the way you left it. Not throw your shit around. It was kind of shitty. See, but table stuff, table controls. As far as that, so let me see how deep I could get my virginity hole. I know I sent you a link with a list of all the ones that I teach, but I mean, it doesn't really get much more complicated than just leaving jogs and shit. Right? You're not going to find a table control that's practical that you just yeet that card and then control it to the top. So you're going to need to have some sort of procedure, whether that's shuffling through the cards or cutting them. So really, it's all the same shit. Table work is really all the same shit. It's false cuts and jogs. That's it. That's essentially maybe steps every once in a while. Right? This really got into a very virginal start, didn't it? This got into a really deep virginity rabbit hole. I thought that we're going to start cool, sweating, right? I worked out this morning before I helped my friend throw a bunch of shit out. So now I'm going to go on a little walk after this. And I'm here for Daniel. Jesus Christ. I missed the link. My bad. No, that's fine. But I sent you, yeah, you have a list there. I don't know if I sent it on your DMs, but I culled all the table stuff that I had on the Academy, and I sent you the link. This needs more. Daniel, who's going to partake soon enough in ham radio streams, of which, look at this. I was worried about our ham radio streams, but now I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all because look how tremendous this looks, right? This looks great. I'm excited at the prospect of being able to stream without any woes, right? That was my issue, my concern. My concern was, man, I bought the service from T-Mobile. Now I'm going to have to return it. I'm going to have to box it. I'm going to have to ship it. And then I'm going to have to keep track of that. Because if for some reason that gets lost, I have to pay $350, of which I don't want to do. Maybe with my investment in Dogecoin, I might be able to stomach that. But we'll see when it gets to a cent. Fucking thank you. Love learning table shit. Well, I hope that link helps you, man. I hope that that helps you. I'm going for an important job interview at 3. Any advice, Piggy? Yes, I guess. Well, this is coming from a person that's maybe only been to 3 job interviews. But I nailed the first one, right? That gave me a long-term position. And you want to ask questions, right? Because you want to ask questions. I've heard taking a clipboard there and taking notes is a good way to make it seem like you're caring more than you actually do, right? Take a clipboard and just start taking notes and go, oh, okay, yeah, that's interesting. I'm just taking notes for my first day. So that's a good way. Asking them, questions about the job, asking them like questions where they have to use highfalutin language in order to respond. It makes them feel, self-aggrandizing, and you're definitely going to play to their ego. So that's a good one. But those are two tips that I think would help you. Just take a notepad. You could be drawing pictures of titties. It doesn't matter. You could draw titties on there, and it's still going to be fine. Could you imagine that I considered jumping to Streamlabs OBS? Right? I thought that I was going to jump on Streamlabs OBS and see if that would solve my issues. If you're not familiar, OBS is where you stream. Streamlabs OBS is like the one where all the Twitch streamers game and all the they go in there with all their overlays. So I thought maybe that would fix it. No, it's just moving the unit to the window. That's it. That's all that fixed it. And now I'm getting some fast ass internet. But what was I gonna mention about some shit here? Fuck me, man. Job interview. You take a clipboard. Yeah. As long as you do those two things, I think you're gonna be set for them at least thinking that you're gonna be better off than you actually are. The key is the perception, right? You don't have to be any of those things. You just have to be perceived as organized and on time and all these things. You don't need to be on time. You just need to be perceived that. Right? Well, actually, no, you need to be on time, but you need to perceive the idea of organization and this questioning sort of lifestyle, and you'll be good to go. Table work, cops, and laps. That's another one. I like to avoid the lap stuff, right? Because you want to be able to stand up and do this stuff. I was just looking at a Devin Knight lecture from Penguin Magic, and he does this thing where he's lapping aces and stuff, and I'm like, okay, maybe in your restaurants, but I don't want to be working on stuff on my lap. Imagine you have to stand up. Maybe there's a fire, right? And you have to stand up and you have all these things that fall out of your lap. No, thank you. I'm not a fan of that. My personal opinion is that Rehab trailer was so cringy, but the concept is smoking awareness, which is great. Illusionist is making some great moves. Maybe. I think that it makes me want to smoke. It makes me want to smoke and take up cigarettes. So it does the opposite effect for me. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, but buying Rehab, I definitely want to purchase. I definitely want to purchase cigarettes. And you know what I've been looking for? I don't know if maybe you guys have some advice on this, but I've been looking for. They're called primetime cigars, right? I've been looking for these. They're sold like cigarettes. I've looked everywhere here in Miami. Apparently, they come in watermelon, and I'm looking for them, and there's no place here that has them. So if you see primetime cigars, I'll definitely take them off your hands. So I've been looking for those. They're shaped like cigarettes, but they're cigars. They have at least tobacco in them. They're not really fucking meant for inhaling. You can more so than cigars, but they make me want to smoke. But we're gonna mention how smart Daniel is. My goodness, I'm not gonna mention the name Daniel anymore in this fucking stream. It's like, hey, let me do some bits where I come in and the only thing I mention is myself because I'm full of shit. But Illusionist, but they sent that to me. But the weird thing is that it wasn't Illusionist that sent that to me. It was Hanson Chen. It came directly from Canada. Sorry, Canada. It came from China directly. So they had to mention in the little thing. I saw the price, by the way. They mentioned, because if you send stuff overseas, you have to put its value. I'm not going to mention it, but, it's good profit. That's all I'm going to say. But I like it. I mean, I like the Mario Lopez shit, right? I like the Mario Lopez shit that you could do with this particular thing. You could kind of figure out what's taking place here, right? You could kind of figure out. But the other one is with money. I've mentioned my woes and my problems with it in the video itself. The issues are apparent. You have $100 bill. The thing is meant to be shown to them, right? The thing is designed so that your hands are empty. You change it into a $100 bill, and then you could show to be a real $100 bill, and you're going to want to hand it out. I mean, it's the nature of the stuff. So that's the problem that I have, because imagine you're going to have to show them this real $100 bill that is 100% ungimmicked, right? Because of the nature of the gimmick. So that's the problem. You're going to have to really pick and choose where you perform this. Hey, Piggy, ever consider any other piercings? Nope. This is it. That's all I'm going to go for. Right, of which right now I just yanked, putting on this wife beater or this tank top. I just yanked the shit out of this, but that's about it. I'm good, man. No tattoos, no more piercings, just the standard ear stuff. Um, that's about it. I'm not gonna get this thing. That's a little bit gay, I guess, for lack of a better term. I apologize to those of you guys that don't like the use of that language, but I don't want to do that. I have a buddy that has that, and it's a little bit too much. Then again, I'm wearing a dangling earring, so what does that really say, right? That really says a lot about my choices in life. But rehab, as a summary, it's good. It's decent. I'm never gonna do it. I might do it on camera just as a joke, like for the Mario Lopez shit. But it's there if you want to see the video. And that was a fun one. And I'm glad that I got sent shit, that I get sent stuff, and people think that my opinion is worthy enough. Is this on top chat? No, it's on live chat. I was gonna lose my fucking nuts. The ear piercings are enough to let dudes know he's DTF. But you know what? I had a incident yesterday. I was walking on this very popular tourist street called 8th Street here in Miami, and I've been walking every day. Right, I'm trying to lose them pounds, right, lose them fats. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to lose the fat that I possess from not working out for a month and a half, thinking I had a hernia, right? But I got eye fucked. I got eye fucked by an old creepy loser, right? And it's this old drunk guy, and he's just there leaning against the wall, and he's there in one of these stands where you buy Cuban coffee, and he's eye fucking me, right? And I know because he's looking at me up and down, and when I walk by him, I see him looking at my back, and I felt gross. I'm like, hey, what do you like? What do you fucking want? And he says some fucking drunk shit. I'm like, whatever, fuck this guy. But man, now I know what it's like, man. I'm sorry. Dude, I'm sorry, man. I just want to take this time to apologize to all the ladies that I've looked at, all the women that I've stared at over the years, right? Which, I mean, again, if I see an attractive person, male or female, oh, shit, all right, that's an attractive person. But I'm not eye fucking them, right? Maybe I have eye fucked a couple people, but not to this extent. This guy made me feel gross as I walked by this guy. I wanted to escalate the conflict, but I don't think it would have been worth the time. It just felt disgusting. I'm walking by and this guy's just smiling like he looked like an old rapist. That's the perception that I got. And he just kept looking up and down. And as I walked, when I saw his head go down and look at my back, that's when I turned around and said, what do you want? Like, ¿qué quieres? Like, fuck off. And then he said some drunk shit. I'm trying to recall what he said, but it was just, fucking nasty. So yeah, that was my my incident yesterday. I wish that would have been more interesting. Like, hey, I pushed an old drunk guy on the ground, but that's about it. Jennifer says a mouth is a mouth. I guess, but man, I just felt gross. I felt gross, man. I don't want to be looked at like that. By that, what? Yeah, I didn't want to be looked at like that from that type of person. If it's a female, all right, whatever. But it's an old rapey looking guy. Jesus, to the point where I had a problem with it and turned around and said, "Hey, man, what's your problem, dude? What's up?" And he, didn't fucking say anything. So that was gross, man. That was fucking Biggie and SCW. Never would I succumb to being an SJW. That's great. Well, okay, thank you for that. Well, if you look at the shirts that I have, right? I have a Elizabeth Warren shirt, so that might be an indicator. As to, you don't know if I'm Republican, right? You don't know that unless you looked at my information on the registry, not the sexual registry, the voting registry that we have here, which, by the way, is an invasion of privacy here. When will your old deck of cards be ready? I'm asking the same thing. I wish I had an answer for that. Daniel, you don't need that camera. I agree, man. Daniel kept saying, "Hey, man, dude, why don't you sell your camera and then you could get my old camera?" And then, dude, I don't need it. I'll need it when I'm getting the views. All right, I told him that right now I'm getting cell phone video views on my channel, right? Like, I'm getting enough views to justify using a cell phone camera, like a Galaxy S7. Those are the views that I'm getting. Once I get like DSLR views, that's when I'll contemplate getting like a better camera. But not until then, my friends. Right now, I'm getting barely. You know what? I'm getting webcam views on my videos. You think that I want to justify the need? I'm also cheap as shit. So you think I'm going to justify the need, even though it is a tool that I use every single day for, essentially what is my living? Still, this perfectly works fine. This is a tremendous camera. The lens is amazing, and it does the job. I don't need a better camera. The fuck? Maybe when I get those views, we'll see if that ever comes. Sup, pig? Listening while cutting the grass. Nice, man. I was considering making this a work stream, like that I'm outside throwing shit out. But then no, I figured it'd be better to do a stream indoors and set everything up after the fact. But I was throwing stuff out. I'm afraid to go outside right now and see the giant mess that these motherfuckers made on the street after we were so careful in putting all the things there. So as far as topics are concerned, let me see. I saw this. Right, this is somewhat related to magic. Some people might complain, "Oh, Piggy, I don't want to come here and have you, talk about stuff outside of magic. This is a magic channel." I've been left comments like that, and honestly, every time I leave or see a comment like that, it makes me want to go to a mall and be on the news, if you know what I mean. Right? It makes me want to show up to the nearest mall and change some lives. That earring is pretty sus, right? That earring is pretty sus now that I look at it on camera. Now, you know what? I'm owning it. I don't care. I don't care if it's sus, okay? I'm owning it. Motherfuckers. But this is something that's related to magic, right? Because there's a pseudo. I would classify under like skepticism under magic, because most of the time they're using suggestion, they're using things that we use, right? They're using hypnotic language, they're using mentalist stuff, right? So when it comes to things like this, I would consider this to be under the umbrella of magic. What this is, the video is called Energetic Epi Exchange Session, right? So this is playing on whatever the fuck, this guy's waving a wand over this person, right? Are you still cheap if you spend $200 on a wireless lapel? Yes, because it's the best wireless lapel. And let me tell you, that's probably the best thing I've ever bought. That wireless Rode mic, that's $200. It's probably the best thing I've ever bought, just because of my of what do you call this? How functional it is. It works tremendously well. It's never failed on me, and it's so useful. I think that justifies the $200, and I've used it probably multiple times a day, every day since I bought it. So I think it's more than enough paid for itself over the years. But yeah, I am cheap. And I'll tell you why. Because I bought a shitty one that was $40 just to try to save money, and it was a piece of shit. It wouldn't work. It worked twice, and then if you didn't have it lined up the right way, it didn't work. And no, so the $200 that I spent on that, I think it's probably the best thing if you're doing video work. So hold up. So let's go to this. Right, and hope that I set the fucking thing the right way. I figured out why the shit looked deep fried, by the way. I figured out why the shit looked deep fried, because I had a setting on the fucking thing that adjusted the color like a troglodyte. But I fixed it. Look at this. We're moving on up, my friends. We're moving on up. We're fixing things. Things are moving. You see transitions. We're not bogging down anything. I'm getting my upload is not great, but it's great for me. All right, it's tremendous. No bogging down of the stream. Next time I might even do a 1080 stream. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll do a 4K stream. Things are happening, my friends. We're moving up. Okay, we're moving up, and we're trying to do our best when it comes to the production on this channel. All right, it's an investment. It's a thing. All right, and you know what? Hope you guys appreciate it. Because I appreciate you guys. Right? I appreciate you guys watching the stream and doing all the things that you do, watching the videos. So I do it for you guys. I want to end my life. So as far as this, okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is you're going to see that this woman pretty much has what seems to be a simulated orgasm from what's taking place. And I don't understand how people do this unironically. Let's go through it and show you what I'm talking about. Let's see if you could hear it.
Let me show what this might be like, not as a demo, in an actual session. And as I'm going to go here, we're going to actually take the energy of the soul energy. And we're going to take it and going to bring it into the axis of the mind. So what is it like if your thinking mind about rules and who you have to be? What if it's inspired by soul? And what if this is around the experience instead, which is associated with this area? What if this case is experience of...
So, I mean, we're going to get to the main part here now, but this is mentalism. This is when mentalism is pushed to its limits, right? This is when you take suggestion and you steer it in the other way. I was just talking to Turner about, we're talking about Uri Geller, and how Uri does not fucking break. I love Uri Geller. I'm a fan. I got to tell you. Before, I was like against the idea of faking it, but you know what? He's such a committed individual that I'm a huge fan of Uri Geller now, right? I'm on his side. I used to be on James Randi's side all the way, like fuck yeah, ride or die. No more, my friends. I'm on Uri Geller's side all the way just because of his commitment to the whole thing, right? So look at this. This is what happens when you commit to the extent. He has some Harry Potter wand, and he has this poor soul that's either, if she's not an actress or with the bit, wild what the power of suggestion does. So let's go through this.
Anger or betrayal. I'm angry because I've been betrayed, so I'm going to keep intimacy away. And what if suddenly your soul knows intimacy is not with the personality?
Jesus Christ.
It's with soul.
Okay.
Watch.
Okay, here we go. And just let you know, this is not my other systems, not network, it's not this, its own thing, inspired what I learned from the previous things. Yeah, she's kind of bad though. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like in a mom sort of way. But you see this is all suggestion. That's all it is. This is literally all suggestion. This is what happens when you have somebody, if assuming that they're not an actress or an actor paid on the payroll. This is the power of suggestion, my friends. This is what you could do, right? How to Read Minds Kit 2. This is what you're going to be able to do if you purchase that. No, I'm not. I'm waiting for them to pay me for me to show that product. But as people have claimed that I've been paid before, I wish I got paid for fucking magic reviews. That'd be great. I wish Hansen threw some dollars my way to say that his product is good, right? That'd be great. But no, I don't get paid. They just send me the shit. But yeah, so this is if suggestion is taken to the absolute max. Let me see the comments here. I apologize. Using basic cult techniques. Yeah, no, I agree. It's another thing I was watching recently was Jim Jones, right? And the crazy part, if you're not familiar with Jonestown, is the insane defense that the people that believed in him, the lengths that they were willing to go to for this man. Even though, if you're not familiar, Jim Jones had a place called Jonestown in Guyana, which is north, I believe, in South America, on the north part of it. And it was in a remote little island. I'm sure everybody's heard of it. But crazy shit. He had 800 followers. And they would do this thing called White Night, right? Which I know sounds like some weird, White Night, is that January 6th? No, White Night was it's when he would have them practice drinking poison. He would have them practice, and he would tell them, I'm giving you guys poison right now. And he was doing that to train them for the inevitable end, which is when they actually did drink poison when they were investigated. So crazy shit, crazy insane stuff. But the power of that mentality on people that need this in their lives, it's insane what you could do with suggestion. I hate this guy so much. So you're familiar with the guy? I'm only familiar when I saw this video, so I didn't know this guy was someone or a name in this sort of industry. But you see the dislikes, which is insane. The fact that there's 209 upvotes is scary. I left a comment on this, but all the comments are related to another show, which is an interesting one in itself. But, okay, still cheap. Moving up a blindingly glacial pace. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. But you know what? It's still moving up, my friend. It's still moving up. All right, Larry. Low no limits. What you think? He's better than Darren. Who the fuck believes this shit? Enough people believe this shit. I mean, this has 24,000 views. That's not an indicator of anything, but I'm sure enough people watch this shit that it's or believe in this. Let's go through it. Oh, this is kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Keep your legs down.
Oh my goodness.
Energy. You may feel that. Raise your hand to feeling it. That's the difference. That's how we affect others.
Nice.
With our energy all the time. With more energy, we affect.
Energy. I love the word energy, right? Because energy could mean whatever the fuck you want it to mean, right? Oh, energy. Do you feel the energy? Look, do you feel the energy? Put your hand against the fucking screen. Do you feel the energy? What's energy? What the fuck is energy? Jesus. So they use this ambiguous language to try to get you in there, right? They use that ambiguity. And, does that make sense to you? Do you feel right? Does this feel good? And, of course, because they're already susceptible to this shit, they're going to say, yeah. So I'm edging on the side. First of all, I'm edging sexually because this is kind of hot. But I'm edging on the side of this person not being an actress and genuinely believing that this is a thing. Just because, could you imagine? Could you imagine getting to this level on film? On film, it's sounding like a boomer, but being recorded on the internet? That's crazy to me. That's insane. But again, this is the power of suggestion. This is what it does, my friends. You could get to this point in life. You could get to this point where you're having a middle-aged man that looks like Robert Durst putting a fucking piece of wood on your lower back, and you coming hard. Jesus Christ. They're extremely dumb people in this world. This isn't anything special. I've seen real manipulations. This guy's a child. No, I get that. Yes, I know. But this is a good case study in what's possible. How are people this gullible? Even before I was a magician, I asked this question daily. Well, you know what? I ask myself that every single time I go to to get groceries, right? And this is going to turn into a rant on old people. But old people don't understand or appreciate their surroundings, right? Old people don't understand that, there might be people walking behind you. So to me, they're the ones that are the most gullible because they're the ones that are more likely to fall for these scams or people taking advantage of them and having this sort of... So you ask yourself, how are people this gullible? Just go to a grocery store. Go to the grocery store and just be around these old people that don't care about the space around them, don't care about you. The only thing they care about is themselves. They'll park their cart perpendicular down an aisle so you can't get to the other side, and they won't move it while they're looking at all the soups and shit. So they're people, right? They're people. There's an audience. There's a market. So they definitely exist. So if you ever want to question society and life, just go to a grocery store. Go to like a lower end grocery store, like one level below what you would consider to be a good grocery store, and see what happens. Even the high-end ones, even the higher-end ones that you go to, still a bunch of people leaving their carts, moving around at a snail's pace. I went to Big Lots the other day. Big Lots, I don't know if you have that up north or in other parts. I don't think it's global, but it's definitely in the United States. It used to be called Mac Frugals, to let you know, the clientele, right? I go there, you know why? Because cans of beans are cheap there. All right, your boy's been getting that fiber, but getting that plant-based protein out here. You know what's up. You know what is up, right? So I go there, but everything, it's like I stepped into Uruguay, and everything just slows down. You're in Cuba. You're in Matanzas, Cuba, the moment you step into that place, because everything is slow, right? The line is slow. The employees are slow. It's like that scene in Zootopia where it's a fucking sloth in the DMV. That's exactly what it feels like. So you're entering what is a Latin American country, and I could say that because I'm Latin American. All right, I've grown in that. I know that. So it's not racist. I'm being racist against myself. Climax cast. Yeah, I'm a little bit. To steal a joke, I'm a little bit hard from that previous video. I'm a little bit torqued from that. I know some people might be thinking, "Oh my God, whoa, dude." No. That's hot. That's hot. So whatever it is, I think you responded to me. Let me see. Let me sort by new. Sort by newest comments. The bird, which is the bald eagle. Jesus fuck, bitch. Are you for real? That's hysterical. But I'm looking at my comment. Let me see if it even shows up. I know he responded. No, he didn't respond. Okay, I thought he responded, but that would have been great. But yeah, fucking weird, right? But again, that falls under the category of magic and mentalism because they're using our techniques. These guys are appropriating our culture, my friends. You should be outraged. You should be upset that these guys are appropriating our tricks and using them to get middle-aged women soaked, right? I want to use my techniques to get middle-aged women soaked. But then you see this, and this guy's doing it to a level that you can't even comprehend because he doesn't care about morals. He doesn't care about you or care about what you believe. He cares about one thing, and that's pushing whatever he's pushing to make that dollar, baby. To make that cheddar, baby. So that's that segment. Look at that. No problems, no internet issues. My friends, I think we made it. I think we've done it. It's taken 5 fucking years, right, to have a normal stream, to have a decent stream that I could feel proud of, right? A stream that's not fucking bogged down by problems outside of my concern, outside of my jurisdiction, all right? You got no jurisdiction here, Holmes. That's what I'm saying to all my problems because I try to fix them, right? I got the technical fucking know-all to figure out what's going on. But if it's an internet problem, that's outside of my control. That's the unit that I bought. But no, it's been treating me good, at least for this stream. And I'm happy that I'm able to provide these high-quality streams on this channel. So prepare for more, my friends. A new one on Sunday, right? New one on Sunday. Every Wednesday, every Sunday, your boy's going to stream about magic, about life, about things taking place in the community, right? We have a vast community. So I'm contemplating Blackpool next year in February. But again, I'm also very cheap. So we'll see how that goes. And I also don't have my passport. And from my understanding, passports are being delayed up the wahoo. So they're really taking their time with passports. I should have done them by now. But passports is like the DMV. You go to a passport office, it's like the DMV. You don't want to fucking go there, right? You want to go in and out. But even if you go there before they open and you wait until they open the door, it's still going to be a massive issue. So I don't want to do that. It's the equivalent of a root canal colonoscopy. Would you be looking forward to a root canal colonoscopy? No, thank you, right? No fucking thank you. So I haven't done it. But I'm going to have to eventually, especially if I want to go overseas. Apropos of nothing, what is the GOP voter base largely comprised of? Intelligent, reasonable, rational individuals. Sorry, I don't want to show my hand, but they're also cunts. There are also a lot of cunts. Every time I see one of these leather-skinned politicians, I cringe a little bit, right? Because I'm like, why are you 87 and in office? Why? Why are you above? Why are you 8 times my age and still having political power, making decisions on both sides? It's gross, right? You have these people slithering in, Nancy Pelosi slithering in, right? Going in there, making $24 million on stocks. Oh, it's because her husband does it. No, it's not. Don't fucking lie to yourself, all right? That bitch got some insider information. She makes $200,000 a year, $24 million. Suck my dick, right? But it's these old slithering dudes. Mitch McConnell, right? On the right, he's another one. That they just slither in, and you see them, and it's like, you guys really shouldn't keep this position. So it's all the sides, man. It's all sides. I just lean, I lean towards one side in particular, especially now with Brandon in office. My town got a Dollar General Market a few months ago. I shop there now because the aisles are like 6 feet apart, and I can't actually shop. Well, here's the thing, right? I assume you're from a place that isn't inundated with my people. And my people, I mean, we got the Cubans. We got the same Cubans that are right now rummaging through my shit, looking for, not my shit, but the shit that I threw out, looking for stuff, leaving a mess. So the Dollar General that's here, it's the inside of Beirut when you walk into one of them. It's Beirut, right? Because there's chaos. I remember me and Daniel, we went to a Dollar Tree looking for Pokemon cards because they had Pokemon cards there. And it's a mess. You can't talk to an employee because they're throwing stuff in aisles. The people are hitting each other with carts. It's a fucking nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare to walk in there. I don't know what it's like in up north with the whites, but you got meth. You got the meth heads and all the crackies up there. So I don't know if it's gonna be any better. High five. There you go. A virtual high five, JT. Virtual high five. Who's the wrestler that made that promo where he's like, "Put your hands on the screen"? Is that Dusty Rhodes, right? Put your hand on my hand. Put your hand on my hand. Hard times, daddy. I'm a virgin. I'm a virgin. Old people, when you've been around. Oh, you were mentioning the old people being part of the GOP. Okay, I didn't get that. I didn't understand that. Old people, when you've been around as long as I have. Also, old people. These email scammers took advantage of us because we're old. Yeah, they got me in this. They don't call it a pyramid scheme. They're calling it a multifaceted flower. It's a flower. It's not a pyramid. It's an expanding flower. And all I have to do is if you want to fucking know the retardation of not only old people, but also bored housewives, bored divorced former housewives, look up LuLaRoe, the LuLaRoe documentary on Amazon. Holy shit. That's wild, right? That's nuts how people could be roped into this. And they made money. They made a lot of money selling it to other people that were also part of the same gambits. If you have to pay money to join a job, to get a job, that's not a job, my friends. That's not a job. That's the number one rule. Oh, I have to pay in order to get involved in this? No, thank you. What'd you say, Primerica? Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you, buddy. Oh, so I recruit people under me and I can have 100 million people recruit under me and I get money? No, thank you. All right, that doesn't sound like a real job. Oh, the only paperwork I have to sign up is the form where I agree to give you a percentage of the money that I make through my sales? No, thank you, buddy. No, thank you. I'm good. Suck my nuts. Suck my left testicle. Okay, sorry. You would think old would know better. Been here long enough to know. That's funny. Okay, I'll give you your right. Good case study on possibility. Good case study. It's definitely a good case study. That shithole, right? Look at that. That guy literally has a stick. He has a stick, and that's what he's using to get this woman to pretty much climax in front of 20 people, and then in front of 24,000 people on a video. Could you imagine the power of suggestion, my friends? It's nuts. Right? So anytime you complain about mentalism or, oh, that's not strong enough, this guy's able to do this with a stick. You're telling me you're not able to completely fuck somebody up with a center tear? Come on. Come on now, guys. Let's be real about this shit. Let's be real. Let's get some magicians together, start a mega church, and retire in 5 years. Fuck yeah. No taxes, man. No taxes. I have sweats at night thinking about tax and payments and shit. So could you imagine starting a church or what do you call this? A not-for-profit, and not having to deal with that? My goodness. Oh yeah, the only form I have to make is the one that says that I'm not gonna pay shit. Yes, gladly, fucking gladly, dude. I get cold sweats thinking of taxes. The fuck? It's not a good thing, especially now with Brandon in office. I wanted to get some magicians down here. I know I mentioned in one of my previous videos if there's a magician in the 305 to hit me up. I got hit up by a couple, right? But they're in various parts of the 305. They're like fucking, I think, cities apart almost. But the scene down here is not as good as it used to be. From my understanding, historically, Miami was a hotspot city for magicians. You had, I think, Al Mann. You had a lot of these mentalists. I know Doc Hilford lives probably near the beach, but Miami was a hotbed. You had a lot of famous magic stores here in the 70s, I think the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You had a very popular magic store in the entirety of the states here in the beach. And you have one that's still popular, but it's a shithole known as Casa de los Trucos, which is on a touristy street. But there's nothing here. There's nothing here in terms of magic. The only stores we have, it used to be one in a place called Bayside that was, I think, called Magic Hut. But that's a scam. That's literally tourist traps. Like, oh, look, here's a rising card. Here's the floating spin bee card. Here's the little worm that goes up your arm. So we really don't have any magic down here. Joshua Jay's actually coming down for a lecture. I don't know if I'm going to go to that. TBH, I might. But he's coming down for a lecture, which is a shocker. I think in November. So we'll see about that. But maybe I might go and just to make connections. I think I might go to that, not for the lecture, but just to see who I can meet. Just make connections and see if people are around and maybe we could talk about magic. As gay as it sounds, my friends, I'm a magic at heart, right? I say you're a virgin. You need to find something else. But bottom line is that I'm a magician, right? And there was one that I met a while ago, Hugo, that I think I've mentioned. He's a fucking killer. He was showing me some crazy shit when I was handicapped. But that's it. That's my only interactions with magicians here. And, of course, Daniel, who, when we met, blew me up on Instagram, sending me constant messages going, hey, man, we need to meet up. We need to meet up. And I remember seeing pictures that he posted on his Instagram of playing cards. But I saw the fucking tile underneath, and I'm like, this motherfucker's in Miami, guaranteed. Guaranteed. You don't get that tile, that shitty tile, that slumlord tile anywhere else other than the 305. was actually 2.5 hours away a couple weeks back. Coral Cape, meaning Liz is rich as fuck. Dad, Coral Cape, yeah, that's 2.5 hours away. You're probably near Daniel. You were near Daniel probably, so you should have hit him up. He's up there by Orlando, like an hour away from Orlando. I'm 3.5 hours on Orlando if you're killing it, but from Daniel, I think I'm 2.5 hours away. So he's up north, which is a little far ways, But now, unfortunately, he's coming down for a couple days, for I think a month. So I'm gonna have to deal with that on a daily basis. So I can't wait for that. Okay, let me go through here. When are you gonna get your Breezy on the show? Who knows? Who knows? I might get him. Right? I could do interviews. I figured I have the technology. Right? I have the ability to do interviews. So why not? Turner asked me, like, hey man, can you should interview me, and I was like, yeah, that'll be great. And then he's a fuck. I can't even mention the things that we mentioned as potential conversations, but fuck. But that'll be a fun one. I should get Jabrizi on, right? Now I'm considering. I don't know if I should go on his show or he should go on my show, right? He has more technically, even though I did the percentage for how many people watch my videos based on how many people are subscribed. It's sad. It's really bad. It's not good. It's not good. So my average views compared to the subs, it's not good. Not good. Not good. Not good. Frankly, could be better. But I think on Jabrizi's it probably caused more of a stir. Even though we get the same views, I think it would be at least the potential for reach is a little bit better. So I might end up on his. But yeah, definitely hit up Daniel next time, man. I was gonna go up there. I think I'm gonna go up there in November to help him do some shit, some yard work and stuff. The only concern with people with over 600 accounts, well, 600 in business accounts, which unfortunately I think I do. So that might be a concern. We'll find out. We'll find out come tax season. If I'm like, hey, if I turn into Dark Side Phil, that's when you know. When I turn into Dark Side Phil, and I do a stream on that shit. Could you imagine Dark Side Phil? This fucking crazy character. He had his bank records leaked. Mind you, this guy, just an aside here, he's a gamer. He's been around since the Let's Play game days. And I follow him as a case study as to what corruption and addiction could do to a man. Right? And he plays games every day. And recently what happened is that every stream that he does, right, he does this thing where he goes, hey, guys, the tips are really low. The tips on the stream are really low. Like, he'll say that, which is crazy to me. That anybody would say that in the context of a gaming stream where you're playing video games, right? Some people, oh, PigCake, I listen, I offer a service, all right, where you give me money and I give you content, right? That's the difference. I give you videos that could teach you magic. That's the point. So it's a service. It's not, hey, give me money for nothing. But when he does that, he'll say that, oh, guys, tips are low, right? Guys, I really need high tips, man. I had to pay a lot of bills and shit. So his bank records leaked. And he spends, this guy makes, I think, $30K a month, 20K a month. And they found that he spends probably 50% of what he makes on internet games, on literally WWE champions. Could you imagine saying that you got all these bills and you're slumped, you have no money, and you're spending it on the JPEGs, essentially, these like phone games? Insane. That's another case study if you want to look at that, just to see what the fucking crazy corruption a YouTube and that sort of life could give you. It's insane. But he's an interesting character. Let me see what the other one here is. I know I had another video here lined up. This is weird. This is not necessarily anything that's magic related per se, but I saw this that some sort of activists were gluing themselves to various things. They were gluing themselves to cars, gluing themselves to the streets. I think this was in the UK, if I believe. I'm not sure if anybody from the UK could give me some indicator as to what's happening here, right? What the fuck is this? Could you imagine the craziness? I get the point, whatever. They're trying to make a point, a statement. But this is a dumb statement to make by gluing your hand on the road, right? I don't think the future was well thought up or the consequences of this action. You see them here with super glued their hands on the fucking hood of a car. They super glued their hands on the sidewalk, right on the street there. That can't be good. I'm sure there's probably solutions that could, dissolve that. But that's skin, dude. That's skin. In order to pull that off, you're pulling your bone. You're pulling the skin. That's not gonna be good. I don't want to see the rest of this video, for fear of seeing something gorish, right? But I saw that, and I was very curious as to the level that you need to get to in order to think that it's a good idea to super glue your hand on the fucking pavement. Jesus. These are moneymakers, my friends. These are moneymakers. Yeah, some people have, had lives and existences outside without the use of their hands. Look at Marty Gilbert, right? Even though he shits on magicians that do tutorials online, right? Which, I mean, I could do this. So, am I an asshole? I think I'm an asshole. One day, I'm going to have to get my shit amputated. And then somebody's going to show me this video and be like, what now, huh? You reap what you sow, buddy. So, I said that about one of my former employers. They're probably just extremely desperate. Here in the UK, they're protesting against climate change. Yeah, there are ways to do that. There are ways to do that don't involve putting your hand on the sidewalk and running super glue on your hands, right? I can't imagine the process of that is going to be anything other than immense pain and losing the skin on your hands. There's no other way, right? Yeah, you dissolve it. Yeah, but what are you putting on the fuck? What chemicals are you putting to dissolve the glue? Jesus Christ. These hand glue nuts are doing it just a few miles from where I live. Jeez, I'll never do a double lift. Right message, wrong execution, says Vanessa. Yeah, 100% agreed. 100% agreed, right? Right message. The message is obviously, concerns about the climate. A good thing to protest about. How about not putting your fucking hand on a car and then putting super glue on it? That's also subject. I believe that you could probably end up getting fucked for that. I imagine that it's going to be up to you to pay for that. You're going to get a hair transplant. No, you fuck. No, you cunt. Well, first of all, that involves getting. You have to shave your head, right? You have to shave your entire head, and then they do the plugs. They get the plugs from your ass and put it on your person. No, I'm good. I'm good on that front, right? But I put a video on Monday. That was a fun tutorial, right? Interesting little bits with a control that I saw from Daryl years and years ago, right? But different handling of it. Right, you're having this back and forth action that allows you to do it and get away with it. Before, it was this, right? You're doing this and pushing it in. I didn't like that. So I like this back and forth where you have them pick a card. I'm going to put it somewhere in the middle. Please don't forget your card. You don't know how many times that happens. All right, thank you, your card somewhere in the middle. So I prefer that particular handling than the original one. It's like, it reminds me of, I don't want to say my handling, but it reminds me of something I put out a while ago, which is this move. It's a fake pass. What's it called? Where you lift one card instead of the half. Somebody has to know what that move is. But you lift up, instead of lifting up half the deck and having them place it in the middle, you lift up just one card, right? Fake pass, bluff pass. It's called the bluff pass. And I like it the way that I did it, which is that you deposit the half while they're looking at the card. So when they look back, nothing's changed, right? To them, nothing's changed. It's a lot better than call stop. Okay, good. Place your card in the middle. It's a better handling. So I think that, not to suck my own dick, but I think that was a good take on it. And of course, the video from today is Rehab, a review on Rehab by Hanson. I don't know how do you say the last name, right? So let's see. This is how it's spelt, right? I don't know if you could read it there, if the focus is going to catch that. Fuck me in the asshole, right? I don't know how to pronounce that. Hanson Chain? I said chain because I'm an ignorant American. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that, right? So how do you pronounce that? Somebody phonetically tell me how to correctly pronounce Hanson Chain? Chain? I don't know how to fucking pronounce that, right? That's not ignorance. That's I'm just verbalizing it myself. That's racist for you to mention that. I don't know how to pull that out. Let's see. The fires in Siberia scare me. If the ice melts, too much CO2 trapped will escape. I'm basically a bomb. Yeah, right. I love that the amount of calamity and potential we have on our Earth. Right. Oh, if the ice caps melt, it's gonna raise the sea level. We're fucked. Oh, if an asteroid happens to be in the vicinity of the right direction, we're absolutely fucked. If somehow they're testing a virus that ends up spreading, and we're fucked, right? So it's a lot of things that could fuck us, and pretty much make sure that we're in line to be we're gonna our shit, like people are gonna be digging up like jewels. They're gonna be digging up all these vapes from the ground, 300,000 years from now, and be like, oh, this must be what the ancient civilization of previous Earth used. What is this? A vape? And then we get them hooked on vaping, right? They reinvent vaping. So that's definitely how that's gonna go. Let's go through these. Sorry, I apologize. I'm just going through because I don't want to ignore these comments. Chen. So it's pronounced Chen, right? So there's no I that I pronounce. It's just Hansen Chen, like that. So I'm saying Hansen Chain like a retard. So Hansen Chen. Okay, that's a lot simpler than what I thought. I saw a guy glue his face to the pavement this morning. Yeah, that's not it, buddy. That's not it, my friend. It reminds me back in the 70s and 80s, not when I was around, right? I was around for the 90s. But the tree huggers, right? The tree hugger people that will get themselves hooked on the trees, right? And they go, no, don't cut this tree, right? I mean, again, that would be they plant the trees. They're planting trees that they cut. That's the way it works. So you're saving that tree, but they probably planted 100,000 more trees and they're cutting that one. So it's one of these. It's one of those reciprocation when it comes to that particular issue. Anyways, how would you make your cult? I don't know how you would make a cult. Obviously, it would be involving, the magic methods you find online, right? You would find some sort of good mentalism bits, maybe some Bill Montana bits, right? You would find some of those things. If you want to watch that Penguin Magic lecture and see some fun stuff there, that stuff you could probably use to start a cult. But I don't know. Obviously, I think with mentalism, we have tools that we could use, right? That could make people believe certain things. I remember forever ago, I did a trick, a John Gustafaro trick. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys? Come on, guys. So I did a John Gustafaro trick years and years ago where it involved it's the aces, right? It's Dr. Daly's last trick. Super simple. The black aces change place with the red aces. That's it. But the pattern that he uses is palm reading. Oh, let me read your palm and see if you're going to be good for this. That's it. That's the only pattern point that I said. Oh, let me read your palm and see which ace I place in your hand. That's all the pattern that involves palm reading. But then I had 3 or 4 people ask me later, hey, could you read my palm? Could you read my palm? So people believe in this shit. The cards. I know a lot of people that read their cards. Young 20-year-old people that read their cards, that pay people to go to tarot readings and fucking crystal readings and shit. What? 20? You're 21 years old and you're paying somebody to read you cardboard cards that you mixed. Are you crazy? It's common. So there's definitely a market there. Garrison Porquez says, hey, Wednesday stream, boys. Hey, boy, you know what it is, dog? I haven't gotten to the point where I need to put like little things, like little drops on the video. I think that's what's going to make this stream more dynamic, right? Have little drops that I put, right? Press shift and 8 and like a fucking, I don't know, like a little guy comes crawling here. I think I should do that. I need to bring back the green screen part, right? Because like an asshole, I thought that was bogging down my stream. It was a good hypothesis, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It was just a placement of the internet device that was bogging down my stream. Let me go through here. Sorry, I apologize. Let's go through here. Vanessa says the UN climate meeting is happening over the next few weeks in Scotland. Okay, so that's why there was a lot of fervor, I have to imagine. They have blocked the road so much. Few people have died in ambulances because of getting stuck in traffic. That was a thing a couple years ago. That was going on here specifically was one of the spots. And I remember living a block away from the highway, and you see people walking the highway to protest things. That's not smart. That's not smart. Again, there's ways to protest things. There's right ways and wrong ways. And yes, you want to be heard. But at the same time, you don't want to be flattened. You don't want to turn into a pancake. You don't want to turn into the ashes that are going to help the earth grow, right? You want to protest in a way that people are going to see it, but not, doing anything where you're imposing on somebody else. If you're on the highway, right, and you're protesting on the highway and then you get hit by a car, my friend, you had it coming. You had it coming. I think that's the law. That's reciprocation. You're on a place that's only designed for vehicles going at a high speed, and then you make it a tragedy when an individual gets struck by a vehicle at a high rate. What did you think was going to happen, though? Did you think that it was going to be, oh, no, no, it's a Disney movie. It's a Disney movie. They're going to stop. No, because the last thing they're expecting is people on the road. That's the logic. It's a disconnect. It's Darwinism at its finest, right? Like the SpongeBob male thing. What's a SpongeBob male thing? What is that? Snail or male? SpongeBob male thing. I keep denying the strength and the humor that is SpongeBob, right? I always used to shit on SpongeBob. I'm like, I hate this show as a kid. And then now I maybe a year ago, I was watching the episodes. They're fucking hysterical. Like adult funny. Like not kid funny, adult funny. Jesus fucking Christ. So color me a fan. Color me a fan. But I saw that particular video of people super gluing in it. And these are your moneymakers, friends. Treat your hands with respect. Treat your hands with all the respect that they deserve. Look at this. By the way, Shin Lim. So this is how you know that we've made it, right? Speaking of magic being dead. So this is the YouTube front page, right? So I'm on incognito mode. So I guess the only two... I'm on incognito mode, right? So this is YouTube without any cookies or things like that. And look right here on the front page, Shin Lim, right from 2 months ago. So that's pretty popular. And these are all like generally what people are watching now, or what YouTube deems as worthy enough to push to you. These nuts. Oh, almost threw up today. First of all, I was kind of hungover today. Right. I saw a video of Adele recently saying that she's hungover all the time. And I found that very attractive. I found that very attractive of her. But I was hungover today and I had to help my friend do all this shit. And what does that have to do with what I'm mentioning here? I literally forgot my train of thought. That's not good. That's not good. I need to get that taken care of, that I forgot my train of thought immediately after mentioning that. Bags, garbage, trash. Nope, that's not coming back. I lost it. But this is the front page right here. This is what YouTube deems as people watching, right? Shin Lim is right there, right? What else do we have here? Bill Burr, Russell Brand. So these are all things that people deem as, or YouTube deems as viewable, right? That people are watching, and Shin Lim's up there. So Magic still got it, baby. We still got it, baby. Let's see. Remember, you used to read voicemails on ham radio. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that was Daniel's little bit, right? What's like, oh, the mail time, right? The mail time, which that was a segment that blew up. I'm like, oh no, people want to send letters, dude. People want to send letters. Yeah, like 4 letters in like a year and a half. People don't like snail mail. PigCake has suppressed his ham radio memories. Yeah. I was watching some ham radio episodes the other day, and I love it because I'm like, okay, here's a good train of thought. Here's a good point. And then, hey, Daniel, can you pull this up? Oh, what? Huh? And then you look at what he's doing, and he's on his phone, like playing a fucking stupid thing. Oh, I'm sorry. No, dude, you're not, okay. I get that I'm kind of a bitch when it comes to that. Like, oh, I'm a diva, right? Like, oh no, I'm expecting him to be on top of the show. I'm doing the ham radio because he convinced me to do ham radio. He's like, no, dude, we got to do a podcast. So for a year and a half, this guy was like, no, dude, look, we got to set this up. So he was the one pushing for it. I'm like, all right, man, let's do it. Let's fucking do it. He wanted to talk about playing cards for 2 hours. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that. There's no way we're doing a fucking a stream where I'm talking about playing cards for 2 hours. He wanted to call it Talking Pips or something. Like, no, that's garbage. We could talk about magic and cards for a little bit and then talk about other stuff, like just make it a general show. And he's like, all right, yeah, whatever. But then meanwhile, we're doing it and he's fucking on his phone, looking up like fucking Shiba Inu. Which, speaking of, let's see where my Shiba Inu is. If that shit hits a cent, shots on me. All right, if that thing hits 1 cent, shots on me, my friends. No, it's not. It's up there though. It's up there. Right now, it's let's see what it is. 0.0006903. That's nuts. That's fucking nuts. Considering that it's a trillion. There's 395 trillion circulating supply. Crazy shit. So people are becoming millionaires because of this joke coin. I'm just trying to make a little bit of change. That's it. I'm just trying to make a little bit of change. But the fact that it's at that. So if it hits a cent, again, shots are on me, my friends. All the shots. I loved ham radio. Well, ham radio's not dead. It's not ending. We're just unfortunately we live 2.5 hours away. But I figured out my setup. He figured out his setup. That we're gonna do in person ones though in November because he's gonna be here in person. So I don't know if we're gonna go to the former studios or if we're gonna do it here. But more likely than not, we're gonna do it in person on November. So it's coming back. Unfortunately, me having to deal with Daniel and his retardation of it's one thing to make jokes, right? But then it's another thing to make terrible jokes. And he's making terrible jokes. So let's go through here and see if there's anything else that I might have missed. Something about my nipples. These hand gluons are nuts. Okay, you mentioned that one. Let me go back here. Looking kind of gay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Magicians Together. So if there's anybody that's going to the Joshua J lecture that's in November, right, here in Miami, let me know. Let me know, right? I want to definitely see if I could go to that. Not for the lecture, right? He's doing a book tour now because I think he has a book out talking about magic, but it's meant for ordinary people. It's meant for muggles. So I want to see that, but I want to see who's here that I can meet up with, right? I want to see who can I interact with, who's a magician, right? Although I'm sure it's going to be mostly old people that they've only heard of me based on my videos on Di Vernon, as they've put so eloquently on Facebook posts. Like, Di Vernon has more skill in his left pinky nail than you ever have. Yeah, I know, but he was a terrible father. He was a terrible father. So, right there, look at that. Boom, boys. Talk about repressed daddy issues, motherfucker. He was a terrible father. So, he could be a great magician, but he was an awful person. I think that if you're a bad father, that means that you're a bad person. That means that you're a bad person because you're subverting responsibility, right? If you bring something to this earth, you are now responsible for said thing, right? So your sperm was a process or had a process in making that thing. So yeah, I get it. You're trying to push the art forward, but goddamn, bro, involve your kids somehow. Don't be a cunt. So by the transitive property, because Di Vernon was a terrible father, I think Di Vernon was a terrible person. And you have people go, oh, yeah, I met him. We had a great time when he was drunk. Yeah, you had drinks with him. I could have drinks with anybody and have a good time, right? Have me throw back a pint with, I was going to say Hitler, but then people might be like, oh, is that because you're registered? No, okay. I'll throw back drinks with Che Guevara, right? I'll throw back drinks with fucking whoever the fuck, right? It doesn't matter, whoever, right? You could do that with anyone. So just because you had drinks with Vernon in 87 doesn't mean that he's a good guy. So that's my point against Di Vernon that these old fucks, the old guard seems to disagree with. But those are the people that are probably going to go to that. Let me see when the lecture is, by the way. I know that I have it here in my email, but he's doing a book tour. I need to email him and see if I could. Of course, I deleted it because I'm a functional retard. Of course, I deleted it because I'm a functional retard. I'll look it up. But I'm probably going to go to that if anybody's down here. I don't know if anybody that's down here that watches this, but I definitely want to see if I can make some connections in the 305. Make a little magic circle, right? Fuck the actual magic circle and these IBM groups, all these old heads. Oh, look at my version of Hippity Hop Rabbits. Fuck you, motherfucker. Oh, look at my take on a thumb tip steel. Suck my nuts, right? We're here trying to make the world dynamic. We're here trying to make magic great again. Make magic great again. It was never great to begin with. Make magic great again. All right, that's what I'm going for. I don't want to go to an IBM meeting and they're talking about, no, because the kids, the wonderment in the kids' eyes when you stretch all three ropes to the same length. No. It's time to grow up, all right? And yeah, I love that trick. I love the Professor's Nightmare, but I don't care about your take on it. You know, your work on the Professor's Nightmare, right? I don't care about your work on the cup and vase. Or your chop cup work, for God's sakes. So we'll see that in November. Hitler wasn't fun to drink with. He'd get up on the table and start yelling about the... look at how, by the way, my spick almost came out there. Yelling about the Jews. That was about to say. No, he's yelling about the Jews. Yeah, I have to imagine drunk Hitler. Right, he was kind of a prima donna, from my understanding and time looking him up or looking up the account of that time. He was kind of like a bitch, right? Obviously a tremendous public speaker, right? Not to give him any sort of accolade, but you do have to be very talented in that endeavor in order to be able to get to where he got. But then again, you also had you kind of had a parachute there, my friend, because Germany was fucked. You had no economy. You were in the shitter. So anyone that's dynamic and didactic would have pretty much done the job at that point. But it just so happens that much like getting hit by a GMC Acadia with a $25,000 limit on her insurance, we got Hitler. We could have gotten somebody that would have changed the world, for positive and made things better. That could have probably moved the way up the ranks in the German system. But no, we rolled the dice. We never looked twice, and we got Hitler there. Right, that part of German history books seems to be pulled out for some reason. That nice time period, I believe, between 1910 all the way to maybe 1946. Right, that time period has been pulled out the history books. So yeah, no, you're right. Drinks with Hitler would probably be terrible. I was at one of my locals yesterday. Right, I was at one of my local bars yesterday, and I think I've gotten to the age where the youth. Well, first of all, I'm referring to them as the youth, right? That's a good indicator as to how old I'm getting. But they got sparklers now, right? So at some point yesterday, they light up a bunch of sparklers and they start playing shots, and they start handing out shots for free shots to everyone. Obviously, they were watered down with whatever liquid they had and only a little bit of tequila. And I hate shots. I've mentioned this before. I hate the idea of shots. I hate the idea of wasting liquor like that. Right? Oh, I'm shooting it down to get. No, I like savoring liquor. I like tasting liquor. So when I take shots, I sip it. Fuck you. I'm not going to shoot that shit down. Unless you're, a female and you're dropping tequila and absinthe down my throat. That's when I turn into a basic white girl. And I'm like, give it to me. But the thought of shots is very insulting. But if you give me a shot, I'll do it. Right, if I purchase a shot, I'm sipping, but if I am given a shot, I'm shooting it. Right, so they did that yesterday. I was very taken aback by the youth in this particular venue and that youthful environment of just fucking shots, my friends. And they kept the bartender. I guess we knew each other from before, so she kept giving me like, oh, here, take it. Fuck, I'm like, okay, all right, fuck. Oh, another one, shots. All right, cool. So that's why I'm a little bit hungover. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see what the youth is getting into. And they all dress the same now, by the way. They all dress the same, especially the younger ones that have Che Guevara shirts. They got the chokers now. The chokers are making a comeback. So 90s, my friends, we live in a circle, right? I like to leave leave positive messages or messages that you guys could take into your real life in this streams, right? Life is a circle, my friends. Elton John wasn't the only person that said that on the song choice for Lion King. It's a circle of life. Everything comes in a circle. Fashion, life, history, everything is cyclical, my friends. So right now, fashion is cyclical. Right now, we're at, I think, 1988 in terms of fashion. But then we're going to shoot up. We're going to shoot up to 1997 all the way to 1999. I think that's where the next one that's coming through. But chokers are making a comeback. You have dudes that got the round glasses, the John Lennons, right? That's very common. The middle part is making a comeback. Fuck. It's a weird thing to watch. Because especially when you're old and you went through these, right? You went through the phases of the 90s and the 2000s and then the 2010s. You went through these phases historically, and you're seeing it all come again. You're seeing it all be in one circle. So life is a circle, my friends. Your problems aren't unique. There's probably 1.5 million people right now currently dealing with the same problem that you're dealing with. The exact same problem that you think is special and unique to you. There's probably 1 million people right now at this moment going through the same thing. So live your life, right? Live your life. Be responsible. Deal with what you have. Have fun. All right. Value experiences more than anything else. Experience is definitely something that you stick with you. Possessions are something that go away. But it's a good thing, right? It's definitely a good thing to just, try to benefit yourself. Try to push yourself forward. But just know that everything's a cycle and you're going to die at the end. So only worry about experiences. But I think that's a stream. I think it's been a good one. I think we had a fun one. We're going to be here. I'm going to be here on Sunday, right? Halloween, I believe, is going to be the next stream. So we'll see, because there is a concert that I'm going to the day before. So we'll see my level of inebriation for that particular stream. And hopefully I'm not going to be in a position where it's going to be like that first stream that I did, the hangover stream. I'm trying not to get to that level, right? So, but join me Sunday. And if you haven't seen today's video already, watch it. It's a fun one. Nice little review on a product that you may or may not be interested in. So if not, watch the video from Monday, a tutorial that you should have fucking added to your arsenal. But apart from that, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching this one. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And as always, fucking, we did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. We did it. We did it.